In the book The Circle by David Eggers, the ending is left off with May Holland looking at Annie Allerton, who is in a coma at the hospital, wondering when the time will come that the circle will develop enough technology to read people's thoughts. The last quote in the book says, "The world deserves nothing less and would not wait." I decided to take on the idea of expanding what happens next. As Annie is stuck in this coma, May decides she wants to design technology that reads people's thoughts, going against Ty Gospodinov's want for privacy in the digital age and silencing his thoughts. Years go by as May is slowly trying to figure out how to design this piece of technology, and it isn't until 20 years later that Annie awakens from her coma. Within these 20 years, however, a lot has happened with the circle. After Annie had fallen into her coma, Ty continued to push for privacy in the digital age. He does all of this while building hatred towards May after she had betrayed him when she told the founders of the circle what he had done. That being said, Ty has now been let go of the circle by the other two wise men, Eamon Bailey and Tom Stetton. This heavily upsets Ty, leaving him much more ruthless and restless in trying to shut the circle down. In the meantime, May continues to work on designing this mind-reading piece of technology. After years of failed attempts, she starts to give up as Ty gets closer and closer to bringing the circle down. A few years have passed, and the other two wise men have left because of age and the fact that Ty has been continuously trying to shut them down. This means that Ty has quote-unquote won, and he is slowly letting go of all the workers. Meanwhile, May finally makes progress in her new piece of technology. She has remembered back when she was a virtual tour guide for the company. She had to wear a lens around her chest that allows anyone in the world to see what she sees and hear what she hears. She plans to use this to her advantage. It has now been almost 20 years, and May decides to go visit Annie again as she does weekly because Annie is still in her coma. Over the last 2 decades, May has gone every single week without fail to see Annie, visiting her bedside, bringing flowers often, and even balloons for her birthday. They have kept her in the hospital by May's orders because she wanted to ensure Annie was going to stay alive and healthy. May would visit her on her birthday, during the holidays, and a once-a-week checkup to talk to her because she was her best friend after all. When May gets to the hospital where they have kept her, the nurse tells May she is awakened from her coma. May is ecstatic, however, the nurse tells May she has lost much of her memory. They go home, and May explains everything about the circle, how they both got involved, who their friends and enemies were, the three wise men, and so much more. She also then tells Annie how the circle has pretty much died and that Ty is on the brink of shutting them down. Annie and May are both in their 40s now, and after being explained everything, Annie knows that the only way they can really bring the circle back is with this new invention, so she decides to help May. It takes years of tireless work and countless sleepless nights. The pair combined New Age technology with Annie's old school expertise. After these years of progress that Annie and May have had while working on this technology, it is finished, and they name it the Square. This device is made of a lens that is like the one May used to wear, but it uses radio waves that connect to your brain. Everyone can not only see what you see and hear what you hear, but the Square can read aloud everything you are thinking as well. Once it is on you, it cannot come off, and it is worn around your neck. May's continued desire to take down the circle starts to become too much for Annie, hitting her with the realization that this device will not only take over the circle, but it will completely take over the world. She decides to confront May about it, and May explains that it has been the plan all along. Annie never realized May's total intention, only that she wants to take over the circle, not that she wanted to take over the world with mind reading. This becomes far too much for Annie as she does not want or desire that much power, and it results in a big clash between the two of them. After much verbal disagreement on what the first step will be in taking down the circle, and to May's plan, the world, Annie plans to take the Square in the middle of the night and destroy it. She sneaks into May's house, grabs the Square, and dashes out unseen. She walks in the middle of the street and hurls the device at the ground with all of her might. The Square shatters, emitting radio waves so strong that they instantaneously kill her, hurling her body into the sky. She is left dead in the street and is not found by May until morning. May picks her body up and hides it in the basement. If the police find her, they will know what killed her, destroying May's plan. May is now left with absolutely nothing and back at square one, and she is crushed. She is angry, in agony, and distressed over the death of Annie, as she has been her best friend over the years, as well as her recent enemy. Ty had just recently found out that May has been plotting against him and the company through a mutual friend, and May does not know that he knows. As he finds out about his new invention and what has just happened, May knows he has won. Ty proceeds to find May and tells her to give up or he will come for her, but she does not back down. She tells Ty that she will be the one to take over the world, making herself the villain, but she does not care. Ty realizes that he only has one option, and that is to kill her. The next night, he sneaks into her house through her bedroom window and murders her in her sleep, killing her with a knife. He hides the evidence, calls the police, and reports it as a suicide. Ty's plan for the circle can now be completed, as he can officially shut it down once and for all. He finishes firing all employees and finally ends the company, completing his goal of privacy in the digital age. This was a win for Ty and the rest of the world, even though they don't know it. Ty mysteriously disappears completely a few days later, going off the grid for good to live peacefully, and he is never seen again.